What's good, y'all? This is Trey. Welcome to this presentation. This is how to overcome hesitation and procrastination, right? Hesitation and procrastination. These two things are destroying your life. And if you don't get these things handled, then your life, if you have goals and dreams and things that you want to achieve, you're going to have a hard time achieving them if you're not able to deal with procrastination and hesitation or overcome these challenges. Now, I can give you some tips on how I was able to overcome hesitation and procrastination. Once I was able to handle these two things, my life started moving in a direction I wanted it to go, and it started moving very rapidly. And every single day I can see this constant improvement. Whereas before, when I was dealing with hesitation and procrastination, there was this one step forward, two steps back kind of thing going on. So let's look at hesitation. Hesitation, when I used to hesitate on taking action or doing the things necessary to achieve my goals, one of the things I found that I was doing that I changed is I would hesitate when something was overwhelming or too much, or I felt like I couldn't handle it. An example I'd give, for example, like let's say I saw a woman that I thought was really attractive. I would hesitate on approaching her because I thought she was so attractive. I was like, oh, can I, am I really going to be able to approach her without getting nervous, or, oh, I'm not really feeling it right now, so maybe I should wait until later, or, you start doubting yourself because you feel as though you can't handle it. And so the way I was able to deal with this hesitation issue is, instead of like setting these huge targets or taking these big actions that I was overwhelming or too much tension, the tension level of these actions was too high or maybe too much outside my comfort zone, I would break it up into smaller chunks. So for example, instead of me looking at a woman I find attractive and saying, oh, how am I going to pick her up? How am I going to get her number? I would do something simple or small, like I would just walk up to her and say hi, right? Something that I know I can handle, something that may be slightly outside my comfort zone, but I just do that, say hi. Let's say we're talking about getting in shape, working out, right? You may find yourself hesitating or not really doing the things you're supposed to do. Maybe you've made too much of a goal or too big of a goal for yourself in the beginning. Like maybe just start off, I'm just gonna do a couple push-ups today, or I'm just gonna go to the gym for a few minutes, right? Just something small that's not going to be overwhelming or creates too much of a huge emotional reaction, right? Because when emotions start getting triggered in you, when you get triggered emotionally, you find yourself doing shit that you don't want to do, right? Hesitating, procrastinating, taking actions you wouldn't normally take. And so you want to, yes, have a little emotional stimulation from stepping outside your comfort zone, but not too much where it's overwhelming and you're basically like, I don't know if I should do this. You start doubting yourself. So what I've done is I start small and I work my way up. Anytime I want to achieve something or get good at something or accomplish something, I don't go into this like beast mode thing right away. I build up to that. I build up to it. So right now, my workouts are very intense and very beasty, right? When it comes to approaching women, I can go out and approach a bunch of women and I can be confident, I can do all these things. But in the beginning, it was not like that. I was doing little small actions that led up to bigger actions, right? So for example, working out, I would just do maybe 50 push-ups a day. Now I could probably do, up to 1,000 in a day, right? But I started with 50, right? So something that I can handle so I don't hesitate and procrastinate. We hesitate and procrastinate when something is too much tension or it's too much outside our comfort zone. You know what I mean? We make it small, make it something that you can handle and then build up on that. That's how I was able to overcome this hesitation. And then once you consistently prove to yourself that you can handle taking these small actions, you naturally want to increase the level of difficulty, right? Because it gets boring. It gets too easy, right? You need a challenge. But where people mess up is they make the challenge or the action too big right from the beginning, and it's too intimidating, right? It's too much tension. It triggers you emotionally, too much, and you feel, I don't know, man. And you start doubting yourself, and you start having all these thoughts, and your mind starts taking control. So it's better to take these little bite these little chunks out of the action or out of the task or out of the goal, right? So hesitation, similar. Procrastination is kind of the same concept. It's like we procrastinate on those things that are intimidating to us, right? It's something, if we saw something as very easy to do or no big deal or whatever, we wouldn't procrastinate on it as much, right? So, bringing it back to the example of approaching women, picking up women, like for me, when I made this big goal in my head, like, oh, I gotta pick up women and I gotta get the numbers and I gotta go on dates and da. When I was just starting out, that was too much. That was too overwhelming. And when I first went out and I had that idea that I wanted to get all these dates and get a bunch of women, all this shit, I would go out and I wouldn't talk to any women because it was just too much. It was too overwhelming. It was too intimidating. Like, damn, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can measure up. I don't know if who am I fooling? Maybe I can't do this. Like all these negative thoughts start coming in because it's just it's too much tension. It's a high tension goal, or I'm putting too much stress on myself, right off the bat. It's like more stress than I can handle. It's like lifting a weight that is just too heavy, right? So instead, what I did, after learning my lesson, I started making these little small goals that I can do, that I can handle, right? So the chance of me procrastinating is a lot less because I'm not overwhelmed. I'm not intimidated by it. These are little actions that I can do consistently, no problem, right? So if we're talking about picking up women, as I said, just saying hi, maybe just asking for directions, maybe just getting comfortable with eye contact, maybe just giving a compliment, maybe just getting good at smiling, right? Maybe, whatever, just like little things that I can do that are not too far outside my comfort zone to the point where I start hesitating and procrastinating. So it's just doing like a small amount, because to me it's better to do a small amount of something than do nothing at all, right? And when you do a small amount of something, you can build on that, because consistency, in order to achieve a goal or get a certain result or whatever, the consistency needs to be there. It needs to be something you do over and over and over again, right? So if it's overwhelming, if it's too much, if it's too far outside your comfort zone, you're not going to be able to be consistent. You might even be able to do it 1 day or 2 days, but to continuously maintain a level that you're just not at yet, that's just too much. And so this hesitation and procrastination, the way how I've been able to handle this is through, doing these little small tasks, right? Like maybe, let's say you want to read more, right? Somebody might say, oh, I want to read more, so I'm going to read for an hour a day. If you're just starting off, that's too long. That's, you're not at that place where you can just sit down for an hour. You're going to have certain days where you're not going to want to sit down for an hour. So make it something that you can do, that's not too overwhelming or, too out there right away. Like, 15 minutes a day, read for 15 minutes. And what's going to happen once you get consistent with reading 15 minutes a day and you prove to yourself that you can do this, now you're going to be like, okay, let me do 20 minutes a day. Let me do 30 minutes. Then you get to an hour, right? That's the same thing I did with the piano. The piano, first I started, let me do like, half an hour a day. And I got to 45 minutes and I got to an hour a day, right? Literally, like anything that you're hesitating or procrastinating on or whatever, just try this out. Just do these little small portions of action, right? Take a little chunk out of the whole cookie or the whole cake or whatever. Instead of like, trying to eat the whole cookie or eat the whole cake, it's like take these little bites. Because if you take these little bites, you'll end up eating the cake. You end up eating the cookie. If you just try to eat the whole cake or the whole cookie, you might get sick. You might not never want to eat that cookie ever again or eat that cake again because you ate too much. Your body wasn't ready for it, right? So mentally, you got to understand it's like your mind, your mind just wants you to stay in your comfort zone. It just wants you to just chill and just be complacent and shit. So you gotta understand that, okay, if the mind's gonna fuck with you like that, you gotta know how to operate so that you can, not be at war with yourself. Right? So just do these little, these little small actions, these little small tasks that you can handle, and then build up this muscle memory, or this new comfort zone, or this new way of being, or these new habits, right? Gradually over time. And as I said, when you get comfortable with it, you would naturally want to increase the difficulty. Like if you go out and you say hi to women like every day, like obviously over time you're gonna be like, I could say hi to women now. Let me do something else. Let me try to have a conversation now. Naturally, you would get to that point. You wouldn't even have to force that. You would naturally, because naturally you're gonna want to evolve. If you're doing something consistently, it's gonna become normalized. It's gonna become, part of your comfort zone, and you're gonna want to go a little bit further outside your comfort zone. And so that's the key to handling hesitation and procrastination. Is like, instead of like overwhelming yourself, creating these big tasks and these big goals and trying to like go crazy, this massive super action right off the bat, that's hard to maintain consistently. Like straight up. If you mentally you're there, then great. If you can do that mentally and physically and energetically, then great, right? But if you try that and you find yourself hesitating and procrastinating, you obviously need to do something different. And what I did is, instead of like trying to go super beast mode right away and do all this shit, I just like would take these little small actions consistently, but I would continuously build it up until I was able to get to this beast mode level, this intense level where I'm doing a lot of shit and I'm able to take a lot of action and do all these things. But it's because it has now become part of my comfort zone. It's no longer this difficult thing or this intimidating thing that's tough to do. You see what I'm saying? So that's how you handle procrastination and hesitation. Now, if you're a man watching this and you want to get more control over your mind, you want to get more power inner game wise, like as far as your confidence, your grounded masculinity, your ability to express yourself, your leadership, right? I have this group, it's called the Sexy Beast Tribe, and it's for men who just want to become the best version of themselves, right? Unleash the best version of themselves. You got like a beast that's caged up within you, right? And you want to unleash that beast. And in the group, I'll be giving you some advice, some tips, some content that will help you do that. And also, once you unleash this beast, this will make your life better, right? As far as like women, you're going to be more attractive to women. You're going to attract more opportunities. You're going to be more of a leader, more influential. That means you will be able to make more money. And you as a beingness, you will feel better about yourself. You'll be more proud of yourself. You'll be more confident, right? You'll have this energy about yourself. Your vibration will be raised. Your frequency will go up. And you just fall in love with your life, man. You'll enjoy your life, and you'll enjoy the character you're playing in this game of life. All right? Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Peace.